Hi, and welcome to week 4, Interpreting the Law. Before we get started, I hope you have had a wonderful Easter. I think it's intriguing in America how we treat Easter and how it differs from Easter here on the island. Just a quick note that I find fascinating. We in the U.S., I don't know how many of you had Good Friday off, but I know that I rarely did. And yet on Good Friday, it is a national holiday here. And not only are people off of work, I mean, grocery stores are open, but pretty much everything else is closed. And it is a dry day on the island. You're not allowed to drink in restaurants. You're not allowed to buy alcohol in stores. And the entire island truly focuses on the gift that Jesus gave us through his death on the cross. And I find that really kind of awesome that everyone takes the day off. Church service here on Friday is highly attended. And then in addition, they have Easter Monday. So Easter Sunday is designed to be in church and spend with family. But Easter Monday is also a holiday where all the businesses are closed and people hang out with family and friends to celebrate Easter. So they have a second Easter basically on Monday. So Friday, Sunday, and Monday are all island holidays. And I think that it's pretty amazing that an island nation has this strong commitment to Christ and to Easter, where in America we tend to lose that. But all right, on to interpreting the law. So our goals this week are to analyze the relationship between biblical and extra-biblical law codes. So we're going to look at how the law is treated in the Bible, but also how law codes are treated in contemporary, or at least mostly contemporary, extra-biblical, meaning countries outside of Israel. How did they understand law codes? Second, to create a hermeneutical methodology for the interpretation of biblical texts as it surrounds law. And we have apodictic and caustic that you're going to look at different types of laws and how they're put together, and then to evaluate different current scholarly arguments regarding the meaning of law texts. So in assignment 4.1, in about 3 pages, I want you to analyze the similarities and differences between the Law Code of Hammurabi and the laws that exist in Exodus chapters 21 to 23. Now, the 10 commandments are in Exodus 20. So I'm looking at the law codes that follow for the next several chapters, not the 10 commandments. So does the law code in Exodus 21 to 23 share common purposes or wording with the Hammurabi law codes? In addition, I want you to add a paragraph explaining why the two codes may share similar laws and similar languages. Now, spoiler alert, there are lots of laws in the Hammurabi Code that are either very similar or identical to those found in the Bible. So you're going to find some similarities. Your job then is to explain those similarities. Did Moses write the Book of the Covenant before the Hammurabi Law Code, and therefore the Hammurabi Law Code followed and copied Moses? Or was the Hammurabi Law Code earlier, and therefore we have to understand why would Moses have some similar language to this earlier law code? So historical context is important. Sorry, I have a boat and a plane going by at the same time. But I want you to really dive into what is the historical context of both of these documents, how are they similar, and why were each of these written? And were there any themes that run through? And as you get into it, I think that'll become apparent. Then in assignment 4.2, going back to methodology, after completing your Klein reading, I want you to write a 2 to 3 page paper answering this question. What is the goal of biblical interpretation? That's a sweeping question, but at its core, What is this course all about? What are we trying to, what's the end result of proper biblical interpretation? Be sure to include a discussion of the role of the author's intent and the reader's understanding. The paper should contain an introduction and a conclusion. In addition, each paper should include engagement with the assigned reading, biblical support, and outside research. Finally, we have a discussion post, and in that I want you to discuss, do you believe that the biblical text has one fixed meaning or several levels of meaning? Now, I tend to lean one way or the other, and Moody tends to lean one way or the other. Either answer can be supported. You're not necessarily speaking heresy to pick one over the other, but you do have to support either answer well with both research and biblical support. Be sure to interact with the assigned client reading in addition to adding your own reflection and arguments. So that's our work for this week. We have 2 papers and 1 discussion post. I really enjoyed your discussions in week 3, and I look forward to seeing what the class comes up with in week 4. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.